Hello, everyone, and welcome to the series finale of NFL Playoff Pick'em. I'm actually here with EJ this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, the NFL playoffs are over, and I am very disappointed.
Are you? Well, I couldn't imagine why.
Oh God, terrible,
Yeah, no, well,
heartbreaking.
heartbreaking. I guess that's probably a better word to use.
Yeah, definitely. And also, our picks were everybody picked the Eagles too.
Doesn't matter. I clinched.
EJ still won by default though. EJ, you are the winner of this show.
I won in the championship round. Yes, sir. Listen,
Finished with a final record of 9-4.
I just gotta say, thank you to all my fans. You've been with us from the beginning. I appreciate it. And once again, I gotta say, I have my radio job talking football and talking sports for a reason. And I'm not trying to be arrogant, but I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I have my job for a reason. I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree. So we have our
He in
our,
fact
our
did need
rankings.
that.
EJ finished first with a record of 9-4, and our tie for second and our tiebreaker here. I picked the Eagles to win 28-14. So this is going to be the closest to the actual final score. Again, this is between me, Jake Jones, and Zach. My final score prediction was 28-14 Eagles. Zach was 31-26 Eagles, and Jake Jones was 27-24 Eagles. So I think now we're going to do this off the top of my head. Do you think we should do this by how close the actual score was or how close the point margin was?
Well, the first thing is point margin. If you have more than one person that took them by 3, the closest to the actual score.
Yeah, so well, Jake Jones
anybody that's by 3?
So yeah, Jake Jones picked them. He picked 27-24. He picked the Eagles to win by 3.
He should get second place because he got the point margin.
All right. Well, Jake Jones is finishing second. Yes, and then I picked 14, so I'm getting fourth. Then
you're getting fourth. Oh,
Zach picked them by 2, 31 20. Oh no, 31. Hang on, sorry. He picked them by 5. Picked them by 5.
5.
Yeah, so he's next.
It's all right. It happens, brothers. It happens.
And I finished fourth, and Brandon finished last with a record of 7-6. So there it is. There it is, guys, on the screen. Yeah, that's the end. Wow.
That's right, the end. Okay.
This paper has everything written on it.
Yeah.
All done.
Huh. Wow. All righty. All righty. All done. Yep. All done. All right.
Now
so I know you don't want to talk about this. I know you don't want to talk about this, but I think it's time for the group therapy session.
Yeah, you can go first, DJ. I have to gather all my thoughts.
I know. Okay, listen. And you know what? I can see you're a little beat up about it, so I won't crap on the Eagles as much as I was going to. All right, here's what happened. So let's recap here because I guess you and I are going to share our thoughts, but let's recap what's going on here. So to start, Eagles get the ball first. They go down pretty much immediately and score. They take about 4 minutes and 50 seconds. They go right down the field. They score in 11 plays. They make the extra point, 7-zip. Chiefs get the ball back. They do it in less time, 6 plays, 3 minutes and 12 seconds. They tie the game at 7. So it's a 7-7 game,
Yes, I remember.
Eagles at the punt. Then the Chiefs get it back. They miss a field goal. It was crazy. Like they missed it. It was off the post too. It was audible.
Yeah.
Second quarter starts. They were 7-7 going in the second quarter. Eagles score on a 5-play drive. They make the extra point, 14-7. Chiefs get stopped, but they stop again. Like they stop the Eagles, go down the field, and they tie the game at 14. 6-play drive, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Eagles come back and they score.
Yep,
and
21-14.
It's 21-14. Time is winding down at that point. Took a 12-play drive at that point. Forced the Chiefs to punt. Then the Eagles, right before the half ends, like not exactly like with seconds climbing down, but right before the half, they go up 2 scores. They get a field goal, and they're up 24-14 at halftime. So they're up 2 scores. And I want you to keep that in mind because I'm going to make some notes on that.
Okay. What was that again?
Third quarter. Huh?
What'd you say again? Keep it on.
The score was 24-14. So the Eagles were up 2 scores at halftime.
They're up by 10.
They were up by 10 points.
Yes,
I want you to keep that in mind.
Yes.
Third quarter, Eagles give the ball to the Chiefs because they won the toss, so they decided to defer in the first half. So now they get the ball back the second half. And they go right down 10 plays and they score. And it's 24-21. Eagles then kick a field goal on their drive. It's 27-21. Eagles are at this point cashing in on almost every drive that they've had thus far. And I think I get it. It's like a chip shot for Elliott, but a 33-yarder, pretty tough.
Yeah.
But this was also crucial because it was then a 3-point game, and the Chiefs could have at any point taken the lead. So they did get a 33-yarder, 27-21. Fourth quarter happens. Chiefs score 9 plays. 4 minutes 41 seconds. Not a bad one at all. They went 70 yards downfield and they took the lead 28-27.
Now, what play was the Jalen Hurts fumble?
And I believe that was the I believe that was the first half.
Okay. Yeah.
No, wait a minute.
I believe it was the first half.
It was the first. Yes, it was in fact the first half. It was the first half. It was the one to tie the game at 14 points. And I can actually bring it up here because my notes are gone, so I'm kind of I copy and pasted all this stuff. But
okay.
Here we are. We have this here. Jalen Hurts ran up the middle to the Philadelphia 45 for -4 yards, fumbled the football, touched at the Philadelphia 42, recovered by Kansas City's Bolton at the Philadelphia 36, and Bolton went for 36 yards to the house. That's what this says. All right. So at the end of the day, right? 28-27 is where I left off. Eagles are forced to punt. This is crucial. Then the Chiefs get the ball back and touchdown. Okay. 35-27. Eagles score a touchdown on their next drive to tie it at 35. They get the 2-point conversion. They tie it at 35.
Yes.
They huddled pretty much the entire way down there.
Yeah. That whole drive, it was all no huddle and stuff. I was so hyped when they got that 2-point.
Mm-hmm. Here's the problem. The kicker inside the 30 is when all the plays went down, and I'm going to hear, I'm sure, about it. But something happened, which I guess you guys probably already know if you're on any social media whatsoever or watch the game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happened. The Bradbury.
Yeah.
Which he admitted. And whatever. Chiefs kicked field goal. Huh?
It was bogus.
No, it wasn't. It was a perfectly legitimate call.
Barely touched him. He touched him like this. Listen, I'm saving all this for when I talk.
When I see this on the back, holding is holding. Can't do the time, don't do the crime. Anyway, field goal. 38-35. Eagles are unable to capitalize with the little toss it around kickoff. They needed a kick return. They didn't get it. Chiefs win Super Bowl 57. So, do you want to go over your thoughts first? Or should I go over my thoughts and notes first? Because I'm not sure. My notes might play on to yours. I don't know how you want to go about that one.
I'll start talking now. I'll let my rage out. All right. So, I can't blame a certain player. I can't. Jalen Hurts played his ass off. Man's played a great game. He played. You look at the stats, you would think they won just by looking at Jalen's stats.
304-yard game.
That's insane. And a lot.
27 for 38.
He played incredible. Like, Jalen Hurts is an amazing quarterback. We're just going to say that.
I agree.
And we had some nice catches, too. Dallas Goddard. Who else had that nice catch? Smitty had that nice catch, didn't he? Was it
Yes,
Smitty or
he
AJ
did.
Brown?
He did. Well, you got AJ Brown in the end zone.
Yeah.
He got a touchdown. And the rest of them were rushing.
Yep.
Hurts had 3 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
Folks.
That too. That too.
3.
Yeah. I know.
Damn good. And let me tell you something, folks. This is not going to be the last time you see Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, they're going to be back
play this way because oh my gosh, he's going to be a nightmare in the NFC for the next upcoming years.
He is. The Eagles are going to be dangerous. Absolutely dangerous.
Yes, I agree.
Now,
a lot of teams are going to be on the rise. What's up, Jake? Tell me.
Where I put the blame. Now, I'm going to give it to the Chiefs O-line. They came out to play. They really did. But this defensive line that had 70, you hear me out, 70 sacks, didn't put up, I don't think they put up a single sack. Hassan Reddick had 0 sacks. Zero sacks.
They were eating him up. I was watching it. They had 2 guys on him at all points because they're like, fine, we'll just double team the only guy that poses a threat to us.
Yeah, because he's a damn good edge rusher.
He is very good. He's somebody I wish the Steelers would have pursued. Same thing with Hargrave. I wish they would have re-signed Hargrave. They were stupid in not doing it.
Yeah, Hargrave's good too. But the Chiefs O-line came out to play, but you have a good defensive line. 70 sacks, right? And this is a team that's performed on defense, especially defensive line, especially. And you can't come out and in the Super Bowl and at least put up a fight with that group. Now, I'm not saying the Kansas City Chiefs have a bad offensive line, but they're not like a superstar O-line like the Eagles are. Am I right or am I wrong?
You are 100% right. In fact, they're not even the best offensive line in the AFC.
No.
They're not even the best in the AFC.
No. The Eagles are the best in the league. We'll give it that. They have the best O-line in the league. That might be
absolutely. I will agree with that. I will agree with that statement.
That 5 group might be one of the best of all time. That is an insane offensive line group.
And I think Kelsey adds to that, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot.
Here's what I like. I ranked the 5 offensive linemen from the Eagles. Number 1 is Lane Johnson. I think he might be one of the best right tackles ever. He's insane.
I think you give him a year or 2 more playing the way he's playing right now, and I would agree with that statement. He is damn good. He's probably one of the best in the league. He is one of the best in the league. Top 3 at least.
Yes.
But I tell you right now, he plays another 2 years playing the way he played this year.
He could be the best right tackle.
You've got yourself probably a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Lane Johnson?
And I'm not joking.
Oh, absolutely. So here's my ranking for the Eagles O-line. Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, and Isaac Seumalo. Listen, for a group like that, Isaac Seumalo is actually doing pretty well. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad offensive lineman, but he's not like Jason Kelsey or Lane Johnson.
Mailata played decent.
Yeah, Mailata's great. And especially for where he came from, he learned football basically in he got drafted by the Eagles out of he played rugby. Never knew American football until he got drafted in 2017 or somewhere around there.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's insane.
That bit of information I did not know. Cool.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, the defense killed us. It really did. The defensive line did not show up. And I mean, that could just be the Chiefs O-line keying in on Hassan Reddick and then it leading to everybody else. But, and let's also talk about the turnovers too. Jalen Hurts, why? What was that?
Yeah, and honestly, I think exactly, I agree. And here's the problem. Yeah. You can't, he scored 3 touchdowns, but folks, you can't forget that fumble 6.
Yeah.
Because that realistically, that changes the game. That call that everyone was panicking and freaking out about was not even the start of your problem. Wasn't even the most of your problem.
No. That game.
Listen, and I'm not saying I understand why Eagle fans are upset because there were some missed calls on both sides the entire game, and then all of a sudden they call. I get it. But this fumble 6 realistically is what lost you the game.
The both of them, the two of them. There was two. The one of them was just flat out just like a what the hell moment. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
Like, when Jalen Hurts just dropped it. He just dropped it and they ran back with it. That
It's
pissed
like, what
me off.
you have, here's what you, and I get it, Jake, but listen, you have the exact, you have the same exact reaction that somebody who's sitting in a press box calling offensive plays is saying the same exact thing you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Jalen has to know what he's doing with the football. And at that point, think about it. And I think, and I am not fit because I am not a quarterback, so I can't really talk for a quarterback. But when the play is breaking down around you and things are starting to fall apart, in order to be a prime best quarterback in the league, you can't be making mistakes like that and panicking and being like, well, I got to scramble and I got to do all this and that because things aren't going.
I agree.
You got to be able to improvise, or you have to know enough to toss the ball out of bounds. What are you doing?
I agree.
Like, you can't just, you know, like,
yeah, I agree. Dude, there's so many things that were like, I don't know, just dumb mistakes that the Eagles made in this game. I don't know how else to describe it. I really don't.
I get it. I get it. I've been in your shoes before. You probably don't like the Chiefs right about now, right?
I don't at all.
Yeah. I don't like the Packers. Why do you think that is? I've been in your shoes before.
Because of the
Super Bowl 45.
45, yes. That I was thinking of the number.
I've been in your shoes, Jake. And I've been in all y'all's shoes because all y'all are probably Eagles fans. 90% of you.
Yeah, that watch this channel, absolutely.
Listen, folks, here's what comes down to. I feel for you because I've been there. I know what it's like to lose a Super Bowl. It's completely gut-wrenching, you know?
Yeah.
But here's what I want to say. You can't blame the referees. You would have been able to blame the referees. You would have.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You could. I did at one point too.
You have to understand. You have to understand, right?
Yeah.
In the heat of the moment, it's easy to go, oh, the referees did this. But if you break the game down, right?
Yeah.
All those times that the Eagles defense got caught sleeping, Jalen Hurts fumbling for a pick for a fumble 6, you know, you were up 2 scores at halftime. This falls down on the Eagles looking inward because that call means absolutely nothing if they're up if they still maintain their 2-score lead.
Yeah, they're up.
Even if they
10-point lead,
they're leading at that point, you know.
What I like to look at is they were up by 10 at one point in the game.
Yes, they were up by 10 points.
Yeah, 24-14.
So even a 2-point conversion off of a score wasn't going to do them the full job. So as the Eagles, you need to be able to stay together. And I think that's the part that I think they got a little bit complacent after the 10
you can just tell
lead. And the defense continued to, you know, fall down.
Yes.
And these games happen. Right?
And
I always think about it this way.
Here's another thing. Jalen Hurts, now, they have a lot of veterans on that team. I will give it that. But if you look at their core, they're a young squad. You got Devontae Smith. You got Jalen Hurts. You got even Landon Dickerson. You can make a case for. I mean, like, these guys are like young players.
Yeah.
Even like, I don't know, like, yeah, I mean, you have your veterans. You have Jason Kelsey, and then you have you know, Lane Johnson. You have your veterans. You have who else? Even AJ Brown, you can consider kind of he's a mid-age player. Dallas Goedert's been around for a little bit. But like, you look at the Eagles Super Bowl team from 2018 and look at it now, it's a whole different team in a sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys, like, that after they won the Super Bowl, were older. Like, you had Zach Ertz at the time. You had who else was there? Brent Selleck You remember him?
Selleck.
You
Selleck
remember
was
Selleck?
big. Yep,
You remember
I
him?
do remember him.
Yeah, Brent
Yeah,
Selleck.
Steeler
I
killer.
loved
That
him.
guy.
Um,
Oh,
uh, who was it? Chris Long, right? Or who was it?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, was that who it was? He was a linebacker.
I
His brother
believe
was
so.
one of the linemen for the Bears.
I
Was it
believe
Chris
that is
Long?
correct.
It was Chris Long. Yeah, Chris Long. He retired after that. Malcolm Jenkins.
Malcolm
You
Jenkins.
remember Malcolm
Who's your?
Jenkins? Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me ask you a
So
question.
sure.
Who is your current day Malcolm Jenkins? Because I can tell you who it is.
Um. Oh, you go first. I want to see if we're thinking the same. We're thinking. Uh.
It's on the tip of your tongue. I hear it. Come on.
Uh.
Come on. You've got it.
It's a safe. We're talking to safety, right?
Yes, we are talking of safety.
Who? Who's the one guy?
Who's your current day Malcolm Jenkins?
And he's on the Eagles, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Is it? Who's the other? Who's the safety? The guy I'm thinking of. It's not Blankenship, is it?
It is Blankenship.
Is that who? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I think Blankenship plays the same exact way that Malcolm Jenkins played. And here's why. You look at coverage, if you compare those pair plays side to side of Jenkins and Blankenship, they look almost identical in the way they are coverage, the way they, scope. They say, okay, well, I got a guy coming here. I know that I can only cover so much ground, and he lets us corners. That's the I think that's the thing that made that makes Blankenship so good in the backfield. And I think that's the one reason that the Chiefs did win, is they were finally, someone was able to figure that defense, like that secondary, out. Blankenship knows when to use his corners.
Yeah.
He knows that he can't do it. He's not like Troy Polamalu, who, well, I'm just going to go out of position because I could do everything myself. Blankenship knows, okay, well, I have limits, and I know how to use my limits, and I know how to use the players around me in order to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes Blankenship really important. So
yeah,
you should also definitely keep in mind
that's a pretty
Eagles
good comparison, actually. I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, as I was saying, we went a little off topic. The Eagles' core for that game was older veteran guys. A lot of guys retired after that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys aren't even on the team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Foles. We didn't even mention Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Guy came in the middle of the year after Carson Wentz hurt himself, and he wins them the Super Bowl. So you see what I mean? This team will be back in a year or two, and
I 100% agree.
They will win a Super Bowl. I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts will be one of the top quarterbacks when it comes Super Bowl ranking time.
Hey, could we potentially see a Steelers-Eagles Super Bowl at some point? Could happen, folks. Both Pennsylvania.
It would take a lot now, but maybe if Kenny Pickett actually surprises me and actually plays like a franchise quarterback the rest of his career.
Oh, you mean like he did in the last 7 games of the season?
Yeah, if that's just not if he's not just a 1-year wonder, like I think he's going to be.
I don't think he will. I watched him at Pitt. I don't think he's going to. Anyway, listen.
I watched him at Pitt too. I'm a Syracuse fan. See,
I know. And guess what? And what can you remind me what happened every time Kenny Pickett played Syracuse?
They won a couple times, but then his 5 or 6 years there.
Come on. I was gonna say
they lost a couple times.
Every time Kenny Pickett played you guys, no. But anyway,
sometimes if we look back on the history, I'm sure we can find times where Syracuse beat Kenny Pickett.
Boston Scott. I was trying to bring up Boston Scott. He was on that Super Bowl team, was he not?
Yeah. No, he wasn't. No, Boston Scott wasn't.
Really? Okay. I thought he was on that. I thought he was there.
He came the year or two after.
I thought. I thought.
You're thinking of Corey. No,
I remember Boston Scott
because the Eagles running back then were J.J.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could not stand him.
J.J. and Corey Clement.
Oh, Clement. That's right. I completely forgot about him. Oh, can I bring up this point?
Go ahead.
You know what else is important?
Absolutely.
Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was not the leading running back for rushing. You know who that was? It was Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell got more carries.
Gainwell. Yeah, Gainwell. He had a touchdown, didn't he? Gainwell, or was that the one
No,
they brought back and then
yeah.
Jalen?
Gainwell got 7 attempts for 21 yards. He averaged about 3 yards a carry. Miles Sanders got the same amount. He only got 16, so he averaged 2.3 a carry. So could Gainwell and Sanders be the next running back duo? Could we see, and I know it doesn't normally happen, but a team like this could make it happen. The Berwick, you know how Berwick, and I'll talk to you like
High
like
school
a high
football.
school.
We're going down to high school, guys.
Could we see a wishbone with a dual threat quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who got 15 running attempts, got 70 yards and 3 touchdowns as a quarterback, with
Which is
2
great.
prominent running backs? Because if Gainwell turns out to be as good as he played in this game, you've got him and you got Miles Sanders. So that could be right.
Yeah.
And your wide receivers are good. Let's just forget them for a second.
Receiving core
You
is
got 3
awesome.
guys under center. You got Jalen Hurts, who could run at any point. Then you've got Kenneth Gainwell, and you've got Miles Sanders. You line those 2 back. One goes one way, one goes the other way. Quarterback either scrambles or tosses it to the right or the left, and that is a wrap. Especially with the offensive line that y'all got.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine how scary that's going to be?
But
And it
here's
just
the
goes
thing.
to show, guys.
Here's
We're
what I
talking again. The Eagles are quite good, and they're going to be back. It's
here's the thing.
time and time again.
I personally think Miles Sanders is going to be gone within a year or 2. Here's my
You think
theory.
so?
And this is something I heard and I agree with. I think he's going to want more. And honestly,
I agree.
I didn't think he was very productive this year. I'm not going to lie. He was not very good this year. He didn't have a great year, in my opinion. I didn't see much greatness out of Miles Sanders like I did in the years prior after he got drafted. I think he's going to want to.
Could he be traded in this year's draft to trade up to get a center?
I don't think it's going to be this year. It's going to be next year, because I think the concern for center is going to be next year. I think Kelsey definitely plays one more year. But here's what I think.
But if he retires, what do they do then?
They're going to have to. They might move Dickerson to guard and move Dickerson to center because he played center at Bama. Or you bring in, and then you put in who's the other guard? Jeez, who's their second string left guard or like right guard? Somebody.
I'm saying it wouldn't be a bad move to if Kelsey retires, trade Sanders, trade up,
and
grab a guy like Paris Johnson from Ohio State.
Yeah,
and Eagles win their division 100% because they have one thing that the other 3 teams do not. And that is a productive offensive line.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Miles Sanders is gonna. I feel like eventually, I don't think he's gonna. Personally, I don't think he's gonna get any better. I think he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay where he's at. He's gonna want a bigger contract. The Eagles won't get him. He's gonna want to go somewhere else. I don't think we keep him. I think he's gonna be gone in a year or 2, and then Kenneth Gainwell is gonna be the future. Or the Eagles are looking at drafting a running back with their second first-round pick, too. That's something I saw in a mock draft.
Oh yeah, that's right. They have the second first-round pick.
They have 2 first-round picks. They have one from the Saints. Because they got CJ Gardner-Johnson. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So I think they're going to take a running back and late in the first round. And that's eventually going to be the predecessor of Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell. I forget the guy's name, but I did see that. But
Boston Scott's also there.
And Boston Scott. Now, Boston Scott, the reason why I didn't mention him is because I don't think he's a full-time starting running back. I think he's going to
No, he's not.
He's a good chunk yard runner. Like when you need like a good amount, like on a third down type runner.
Yeah, he's a good fullback or something.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I didn't include him in that. He'll be around and he'll be productive. He'll help us on a situation like that.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you.
We also have 6 minutes left, by the way.
Yeah. So you got AJ Brown, you got Devonta Smith, you've got Dallas Goedert at tight end.
Yes.
Your upcoming here, where do I think the big question that we have to answer within the next 4 minutes ish is we know where the Chiefs are going. They're not going to really change a thing. They might sign Juju, they might not, because let me tell you something, he was an idiot saying what he said, and I'm not getting into it any further, but he was an idiot, and I don't condone it.
I've always hated Juju. I always have.
He got on my nerves in Pittsburgh. I mean, I liked him because and I do like Juju. I don't have a problem with him, but listen, I said it even when he was in Pittsburgh. He's a little mouthy, he needs to knock it off. Here's my question for you, because you're an Eagle fan, you're kind of involved here. We know where the Chiefs are going.
Yes.
They won a Super Bowl. Whether they sign Juju or not is whatever. Whether Andy Reid continues or not might be the big thing for them. But the Eagles, where do they go from here, wide receiver wise? Devonta Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert.
I don't
Does
think
Gainwell, if Gainwell stays, he's a passing option. But do they stick with Zach Pascal? Do they go with Boston Scott? Do they go to, what's the other guy's name?
Quez
Quez Watkins?
Yep.
Does he stay in
Yes.
relevant? Or do the Eagles take one of their picks this year and try and draft yet another wide receiver, or are they going to stick with this core? You have to keep in mind the Eagles are going to come up on some cap problems quite soon.
They will. Oh,
They're not going
absolutely.
to be able to pay everybody. And Jalen Hurts is going to want a bag, especially playing after the year that he just played.
And I think Miles Sanders will be the victim of that. That was getting to my point.
Agree.
That's going to be Miles Sanders' departure out of Philly. That's when that's going to happen, when Jalen Hurts gets that bag. Because, again, he doesn't have he wasn't a first-round pick, so they have to construct like a deal for him.
I agree. And here's my other question for you on the Jalen Hurts deal. When and if they sign him, what do you think it's going to take for him to get a deal? Because they're not going to hop into it and sign him real quick like they did Mike Vick and Donovan McNabb.
It's going to take a second straight Super Bowl
here's
appearance.
money because you were good 1 year,
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to take?
It's going to take another Super Bowl appearance or a victory. I think if they make it next year or they win it within the next year or two, he's getting that bag. He's getting that money. However,
I agree.
They have a hangover like the Rams did. Oh, it's a little questionable at that point. They're going to pay him as much as they should.
Yes, I agree. Now, what do you think the probability of that happening is? What do you think that is?
What?
The hangover.
I don't think it's happening.
You don't think it's happening?
I think
the Eagles win the division, but I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah.
If they stick with the guys they've got right now, I don't think they win the Super Bowl. I think they're one stop. I think they're a tight end. They're a tight end and an extra secondary player away from a Super Bowl. They're two pieces away, I think.
I agree with the secondary part. Tight end, I don't know. I think Dallas Goedert's
I don't know. I don't think Goedert's it. I don't think Goedert's
You don't think so?
No.
I don't know. I really like Goddard. I really do.
I like him too. He's a really, really good guy. But
good player. I don't know.
He dropped 2 passes in the Super Bowl and wasn't able to find the end zone. So in big games like that, you got to be able to capitalize. So that's all I was saying. But realistically, and we'll also, I guess, Jake, here's the other thing I wanted to pull up, because we only have a little bit left.
Yeah.
I guess this is kind of interesting because, there's a lot in the air with like the other side of the spectrum, like with the Chiefs coaching and stuff.
Yeah.
So talk about the Eagles coaching staff. People are leaving, like
Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen are gone. They're gone already. They're gone.
They're leaving. How long do you think it's going to take for a team like the Bills or someone else? How long do you think it's going to take for somebody to swoop up Sirianni? Do you think Sirianni is going to give the moment like a team like the Chiefs says, we want to give you a lot more money? Do you think he's going to leave, or do you think he's going to stick to Philly?
Absolutely not. There's no way Sirianni leaves. He is too much of a Philly guy to do that. You see the way he talks, the way he acts, the way he coaches this team. He's a Philly man at heart. He is a Philly dude at heart. You know that. You could see that. He is not leaving. I'm telling you. Sirianni leaves, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked, I'll be disappointed, and I won't like him anymore. I'll
give you a trade. You guys could take Mike Tomlin because I don't want him.
Mike Tomlin's on his way out.
He is on his way out. I don't want him anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't want Matt Canada either.
I don't. I don't condone public death or anything. I don't condone anything from the 1800s. But let me tell you something. If there's one guy that deserves something like that, it's Matt Canada. I would love to throw a tomato at him right now. I'd love to throw a lot more than a tomato at that guy. What a moron.
But
here's my final thesis statement, because I know you got to do your.
We got a minute left.
Ready, folks? Yep. Chiefs, congratulations. You did win the Super Bowl, and I think, quite frankly, you won it. In Eagles fans, you'll be back 100%.
Absolutely.
Just don't be blaming the refs. There were a lot of other things that came into this. I get it. but just take your L gracefully. Go into the next season. You're probably I guess you're my favorite at this point to win the Super Bowl. Just relax, guys.
Yep.
You'll be there. And
All right,
Jalen
well,
Hurts.
we have to
MVP
wrap
season.
this up. This is about to end. Also, tune in later. EJ the Cobra Samuel is helping the Goalie Nature Hunt crew find the Night Stalker in Duryea. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys
I'm
next
leaving.
week. He's got to go help the crew. See you guys.